Here are 3 reasons why I'm still buying HBAR. Reason number 1 is because I think that it has a lot of room to grow. And even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, just put this into imagination, right? If let's say HBAR were to go to the price of $3, at that point, that right there is around a 60x from here. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Now, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but if, let's say, hypothetically, I were to put $1,000 into HBAR, and let's say during this bull run, HBAR were to go to the price of $3, at that point, that $1,000 could hypothetically become 60 grand. Now, again, that's kind of crazy to think about, but even besides that point, what I really love about HBAR is the fact that its room for growth feels amazing. It feels like a meme coin sort of, but then the room for downside doesn't feel that bad, because here's the thing. If I take a look at many projects out there, like let's say microcap meme coins or just like microcaps in general, you don't really know if they're going to pop off like ever. We just don't know that, right? The risk is very high. But then at the same time, of course, the gains are hypothetically very amazing. But again, there is a risk to that. But the way you take a look at HBAR is that the risk doesn't feel that bad because it's not some sort of like microcap with like no fans or like no community. No, that's not the case. It's very well established. But then at the same time, it's not like a dinosaur. It's not like a Bitcoin or like an Ethereum or like, a Solana or like a BNB that can't do, like, let's say over like a 15x during this bull run. You know what I mean? So that's what I really like about HBAR. It feels like a meme coin sort of in terms of its hypothetical upside. But then in terms of the downside, it doesn't feel that bad. It's like big enough, but then it's like not that small. You know what I mean? But yeah, besides that point, when I take a look at HBAR again, usually when people think about meme coins, they say, hey, this one's going to do like over 50x, all this type of stuff. But they don't really think about like a good project doing that. But again, when it comes to HBAR, because it's not like that established yet, it still has that room for growth. So I really like that. And it's not like $3 is this crazy and like ridiculous, price target, because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $113 billion. It's not too bad. We've seen like BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap. And I don't think BNB is that dynamic because, for instance, you take a look at just last year, even according to Crypto.com research, slightly over 2% of the crypto hacks that happened actually occurred on the BNB smart chain ecosystem. So yeah, I don't know if that's that great. You know what I mean? The crypto space overall is massive. Now, I get it, BNB, I don't think it's going to disappear anytime soon. There's a lot of hype, there's a lot of fans, but still, if something like BNB, especially back in 2021, a time where there was like far less crypto owners, only around 300 million at that time during the peak of that bull run, now there's over 600 million, according to Crypto.com research. Again, if BNB could reach that, especially during that time, again, back in 2021, with way less institutional investors, with way less enterprise adoption, again, with way less crypto owners, why can't HBAR at least also go to over $100 billion in market cap, especially during this bull run, where the factors are a lot better? That's the way to take a look at it. So when it comes to HBAR, it's really such a no-brainer pick for me. A lot of people like to say that, yeah, the price is doing caca, all this type of stuff. Well, maybe it's not doing the best. I mean, there are many meme coins out there are performing HBAR in terms of like percentage increase. However, I personally believe that HBAR should be one of my foundational pieces in my portfolio because I'm very bullish on it. I think it's very well established. And again, it still has that room for growth, hypothetically, which is why I really like it. Now, the second reason why I'm still buying HBAR is because I think that the fundamentals when it comes to HBAR is amazing. After all, it's the native cryptocurrency of the Hedera Hashgraph network. Now, when you take a look at Hedera Hashgraph, it's actually different from a lot of other projects out there because many projects out there, right, they use traditional blockchain technology, which is nothing wrong with that. We see many layer one blockchains out there do absolutely amazing. So it's not caca by any means. And I still do believe in blockchain technology. But when it comes to Hedera Hashgraph, it just takes things to like a whole different level, because it actually uses something called a DAG. Now, a DAG stands for Directed Acyclic Graph. Now, a benefit of something like this, for instance, is improved scalability, right? Improved data storage, reduced energy consumption. Compared to traditional blockchain technology, again, a DAG, like a Directed Acyclic Graph, it just has like better advantages. You know what I mean? So it's really so fantastic when it comes to Hedera. Sometimes people don't take that into consideration. They're like, oh yeah, it's trash, all this type of stuff. Well, I disagree. Not to mention its governing council when it comes to Hedera includes the likes of Google, IBM, Dell Technologies. You take a look at, for instance, Ubisoft and many others. I mean, this is how impressive the list is. Not to mention, when you take a look at Hedera as well, amazing use cases, right? NFTs, DeFi, payments, decentralized logs, decentralized identity. It even has solutions for stablecoins. So if you take a look at it, it's a very complete project. It's not some sort of Kaka one-trick pony. It may seem kind of simple, but it's actually not a bad thing in my opinion, because I think there's beauty in simplicity. If a project has like too many knickknacks, too much random things going on, I actually don't like that. It's like, for instance, if I eat like steak, all I want is salt and pepper. That's it. Like, I don't need like some random sauces. I don't need mayonnaise. I don't need like A1 sauce, especially like ketchup. Who does that, man? I don't do that. That's complete caca. When it comes to steak, I'm not saying when it comes to other things. But besides that point, I just like to keep it simple. You know, it's not too simple where it's like useless, but then it's not too overly complicated. It's like the perfect type of simple, if that makes sense. Much like my hair, by the way, I cut my own hair. That's the lifestyle I like to have, a simple lifestyle. But even besides that point, when I take a look at Hedera, you have to take into consideration how per transaction on average, it does consume way less energy than, for instance, allegedly something like Cardano, Ethereum, BNB Chain, and many others. So that's amazing. Not to mention, its native services can reliably scale up to 10,000 transactions and even beyond. So that's crazy, of course. That means it's very scalable. So when I take a look at Hedera, is it really such a bad pick for me? No, I disagree. I mean, it's not a bad pick for me whatsoever, in my opinion. I think it's very amazing. It's a hidden gem, I think, that even though it's not like a small project by any means, it's kind of under the radar because as of right now, people that are FOMOing into like Solana, like BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin, nothing wrong with that. But I think when it comes to HBAR, man, it's very special, but sometimes people don't understand just how special it is. But I do. That's why I believe in it. And the third and final reason why I'm still buying HBAR is because I think that this bull run could be so special. As the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. Meaning that, in my opinion, at least hypothetically, if Bitcoin reaches like $150,000, let's say during this bull run, and let's say altcoins, you start doing well, you know, the bull run is in fifth gear, I don't see why something like HBAR won't join that ride, if that makes sense. Because again, a high tide raises all ships. We saw back in 2021 completely caca projects. They even went along with the ride. I'm not saying they were like the best gainers, but at least they grew. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Bitcoin, let's say reaching those heights, I don't see why HBAR won't join along with other altcoins. I think once the hype for like meme coins and AI projects kind of begins to shift towards like just these amazing fundamentally sound projects, I think that's when we're going to see something like HBAR go along with the ride. But it's just a matter of time because I think around 6 months from right now, a year from right now, things could be very different. All I got to do is stay patient because you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. It's all amazing as of right now. Also, again, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, more cryptocurrency owners than ever before in history. So if you actually take all those factors into consideration, this bull run could be special. But again, it's just a matter of time. All I got to do is stay patient, continue to accumulate HBAR, hold, and I just wait. That's it. It's so simple, really. Like, it doesn't require like any skill. Like, I don't have to look at the price charts every like 2 minutes, 2 hours. Like, who cares? Sometimes people like to comment and say, oh, wow, the price of HBAR is down like 5%, 3%. Who cares, man? I don't care about what happens to HBAR like next Monday. You know what I mean? I care about what happens during the peak of the bull run. That's why I'm staying patient. I'm still buying HBAR and I still believe in it. And I think, again, it's one of the foundational pieces in my portfolio and I really like that. You know, again, with all those amazing factors taken into consideration, HBAR at the price of $3 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think that it's just a matter of time before more people understand just how amazing Hedera is. And also, not to mention, HBAR I think could be especially special during this bull run because exposure is amazing. It's listed in a bunch of major exchanges. So just imagine, right? Again, once that bull run is in fifth gear, once that FOMO, buying pressure, buying volume is really at such an amazing level, I think HBAR naturally is going to go along with the ride. So when people like to say $3 is crazy, I don't think so. But again, only time will tell. But personally for me, I don't think it's too bad whatsoever. I think this bull run could be amazing. And HBAR, it has excellent exposure. And I really like that. And make sure to subscribe if you gained value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.